Now local school districts are bracing for those cuts to transportation. Our Sheena Elzie explains why some are already cash-strapped, and they say you could end up paying to make up the difference.
Roy Smith is the superintendent of Lovington Schools, but he says their budget has been stretched so thin that now he's the superintendent and the bus driver.
Friday I'm driving buses, and even my secretary, the district secretary, is going to be transporting some special students back and forth.
And by doing that, he says, they've cut bus costs so their budget doesn't fall into the red. The problem is the state is making cuts too. A $95 million cut to school transportation.
If we lose half of that funding, we can't run 1.5 bus routes in my district. We have 3 currently.
He says it takes about $300,000 to run bus routes in the district, and more than 80% of that was paid for by the state. But now, you might have to cover the costs. School leaders say with less state money to pay for bus transportation, that means the money could be coming from your pocket with higher taxes.
Ultimately, that means that the taxpayers in the community will have to pay a larger portion of transportation. Another option would be to try to cut back on what we transport, which could come down to ultimately extracurricular activities.
But that's just one problem. The state also wants schools to combine districts to save money, something Lovington Schools is already working towards with Arthur Schools.
It's not as quick and easy as people think. Believe me, it is very stressful for everybody.
And if both become one district, that means more bus routes and less money to run them. A bumpy budget ride that school leaders say is just beginning. In Moultrie County, I'm Sheena Elzie reporting your local news on WAND Storm Center 17.
Sheena, thanks. School